It started the same way everywhere, not gradually, not in isolated cases, but all at once, across the world. Different countries, different cities, different lives. People began waking up with the same memory, a dream. At first, they could not describe it properly. It felt too real to be called a dream, and too strange to be called memory. But when they tried to explain it, the details always matched. A subway station, empty, still, lit by long flickering fluorescent lights that never fully stabilized. The air was cold, but not natural cold. More like something artificial was keeping it that way. There were no advertisements on the walls, no sounds of people, no movement, except for one thing. A distant train noise echoing somewhere deep inside the tunnels, always far away, never arriving. And then there was the door. Everyone saw it. The same door. A single metal structure standing directly on the platform wall, not connected to anything behind it. No corridor, no maintenance room, no explanation, just a door, smooth surface, no handle, no visible lock, and a strange symbol scratched into the metal. 3 vertical lines, and a broken circle beneath them. People began waking up confused. At first, they assumed it was just a strange, shared dream trend, something psychological, something viral, something harmless. But then, the reports started multiplying. Sleep clinics in Europe noticed the same description, then hospitals in Asia, then research centers in North America. Within a week, it was global, and the most disturbing part was not the dream itself. It was the consistency. Every single person described the exact same structure, even the lighting pattern, even the timing of the distant train sound. It always appeared at 2:13 a.m. No one knew why that time kept repeating, but it appeared everywhere. Phones freezing at 2:13, clocks resetting at 2:13, security systems briefly glitching at 2:13. At first, governments dismissed it as coincidence, a psychological anomaly, mass suggestion, collective hallucination. But that explanation stopped working very quickly because people who had never been exposed to the internet were reporting the same dream. People in isolated regions, people in controlled environments, even individuals with no access to global media, all of them saw the same station and the same door. That was when the first real panic began, not in the public, but inside intelligence agencies. Because shared hallucination can be explained, but shared identical structured experience cannot. Around this time, the main character enters the story. His name was Elias Mercer, a neuroscience researcher working in cognitive pattern analysis. Elias was not the type of person who believed in coincidences, and he definitely did not believe in mass hysteria events without cause. When he first reviewed the reports, he assumed there was a technological explanation. Some form of signal interference, some kind of neural synchronization experiment, or a hidden system affecting sleep cycles globally. Something artificial, something controlled. But the more data he analyzed, the worse the situation became. Because the dream did not behave like imagination. It behaved like a structured environment. It had rules, patterns, repeating cycles. Elias began collecting testimonies himself, not just reading reports, interviewing people directly. And every time, the description stayed identical. The subway station, the door, the symbol, the voice, because there was always a voice. A calm announcement system coming from nowhere. No visible speakers, no origin point. just a sound appearing in the air. It always said the same thing. You are now in the transition layer. Elias did not like that phrase. It suggested structure, intent, purpose, and something worse. Design. The more he studied it, the more convinced he became of one thing. This was not a dream. It was a system. And systems require an operator. Someone or something was coordinating it. But what unsettled him the most was not the global spread. It was the timing. Because every report aligned with the same moment. Sleep cycles converging toward a shared window. 2:13 a.m. Always 2:13. Elias started running private simulations. He synchronized sleep data from multiple test subjects in controlled environments, and what he discovered made him stop reporting results internally, because every subject, regardless of background or neurological profile, entered the same dream structure within the same cycle window, same station, same door, same rules. It was not variation. It was replication, as if something was broadcasting the same environment into human consciousness. One night, Elias decided to observe it himself, against protocol, against recommendation. He set up full neural recording equipment and allowed himself to fall asleep inside the lab. He told himself it was for verification, but deep down, he already knew he was crossing a line. When he fell asleep, there was no transition, no fading into unconsciousness, just a sudden presence. The station appeared instantly. Same cold lightning, same empty platform, same distant train sound that never got closer, and the door. Always the door. For the first time, Elias did not approach it immediately. He studied the environment, and that was when he noticed something others had not reported clearly. The station reacted to attention. When he looked at the walls, they stabilized. When he looked away, they flickered. When he focused on the tunnel extended. It was as if observation itself was shaping structure, as if the environment was responding to perception. The voice appeared again. You are now in the transition layer. But this time, Elias spoke back. What is this place? There was a pause, longer than before. Then the voice answered. Awareness not authorized. That was the first time Elias felt something shift. Not in the environment, but in the implication. Because that response did not belong to a dream. It belonged to a protocol. He began walking toward the door, not because he understood it, but because every instinct told him the remaining still was worse. With every step, the station changed slightly, not dramatically, subtly, like corrections being made in real time. Scratches on the floor appeared where there were none before. The lighting rhythm adjusted to his movement. The distant train sound synchronized with his breathing. And the symbol on the door, the 3 lines and broken circle, seemed sharper the closer he got. He stopped in front of it, and for the first time, the voice changed tone. Still calm, but closer.
You have reached Phase 1 boundary.
Elias placed his hand near the surface of the door. He did not touch it yet, and the station went silent. No train sound, no flicker, no movement. Then the voice spoke again.
Do not proceed.
A pause, long enough to feel intentional. Then,
External interference detected.
Elias froze, because that sentence did not belong in any dream logic he knew. And before he could respond, the door shifted slightly. not opening, not closing, just acknowledging presence. And behind it, something moved, not clearly visible, not defined, just enough to confirm one thing. He was not alone inside this system. And then, the dream did not end. It continued. But something about it had already changed.